Hello everyone. Welcome to another video of Server Administering series. In this video we're going to talk about creating a central store of administrative templates. Understand that by default, if you create your own administrative templates to manage group policy settings, then those templates are stored as ADMX files in the file system of the local server. Understand that they are not stored in Active Directory itself unless you actually put them there. Let's take a look. Notice here I've selected my default domain policy. Within our domain policy, we have our administrative templates. Notice here that it tells us that these policy definitions are stored as ADMX files that have been retrieved from the local computer. This is really useful because it provides extensibility. For example, suppose we have a programmer in our organization who develops an in-house application that's going to be used by our users. Well, that programmer can create his or her own group policy templates in the form of an ADMX file, which, by the way, is nothing more than an XML file, and then have that template applied using group policy by loading that template from the local computer. Here's the important thing that you need to remember. These custom ADMX files are actually stored in the Windows directory on the local computer. But go back to the Group Policy Management Editor, and you'll notice that these are retrieved from the local computer, which means not stored in Active Directory. They're being pulled from the local system. Notice here in C:\Windows, there's a subfolder called Policy Definitions, and within this folder are all of our ADMX files. These are administrative templates that are used to manage group policy. So, in order to create a custom group policy template, all the programmer has to do is create the appropriate ADMX file. Remember, this is just an XML file, and then copy that ADMX file into the Policy Definitions folder right here. Once done, the policies located inside of this ADMX file would be available in Group Policy, under Administrative Templates. And as such, they will be available for configuring various group policy settings in the Group Policy Management Editor, and then these settings could be applied to the various users and computers inside of the domain. Even though the way ADMX files works introduces a great deal of extensibility and a lot of flexibility, they also introduce a bit of a problem. Why? Because these files are stored locally, on the local hard disk drive of the server. That means they can't be used anywhere else. For example, if there were other administrators in my organization, and they also wanted to apply the policy settings that were created by my programmer in the custom ADMX file that he or she wrote, they're not going to be able to use them in the domain unless they were to use my same computer and were logged in as my same user account. And I actually have no intention of giving them my password. So what you do? Well, one option would be to grab that ADMX file and share it around to the other administrators in my organization on a flash drive. This option would work, but it's kind of a pain. A better option would be to create a central store within Active Directory and copy our ADMX files there. The central store is really just a folder that contains ADMX files. It's nothing special. By putting these ADMX files into the central store folder, it makes them available to any other administrator within Group Policy Management. The process of creating a central store is actually quite easy. Just go into File Explorer and access your sysfile share. The sysfile share is created by default when you install Active Directory, and the path is shown here: dev.com sysvol dev.com policies. You can see in this example right here that I'm accessing the dev.com sysvol dev.com policies folder, and this is what I see, right here. We see all of the group policy objects that have already been defined within the domain. To create the central store, all you have to do is copy the Policy Definitions folder from C:\Windows on your local server system up to the sysfile share. Notice that I put it one layer up. We are in dev.com sysvol dev.com. We were in the Policies folder. I've gone up one level, and I simply copied the Policy Definitions folder here from C:\Windows up to the same level as the Policies folder. By doing this, all of the administrative templates from the local system are now available within Group Policy for any system administrator in the domain to use to create their own group policy settings. That's it for this video. In this lesson, we talked about how to create a central store. We talked about the role and function of ADMX files when managing group policy. We looked at where they're stored on the local server system. Then we talked about how to copy them up to the Sysville share to create a central store of template files that all administrators in the domain can use. Thank you for watching the video. Like the video and subscribe to my channel for more videos.